Hello everyone. In this video we will be discussing Python dictionaries. So a dictionary in Python is basically just I guess you could say a data structure that basically holds various amounts of data and connects it to something called a key value pair. So before we get started in this, I'll just kind of create a section where I kind of explain that in English. So your syntax for a dictionary would look like this. So you would have a dictionary name is going to be equal to what you call a key value pair. So this is what a key value pair looks like. You have a key and it is separated from the value by a colon. And then in your dictionary, you can have multiple key value pairs. And to have multiple, you just add a comma. So you could have another key value pair and another one. And you can have as many as you would like. So that would be your basic syntax for a dictionary. Now, let's get started in creating some code and starting to test this out. So let me write my comment. All right, so let's say we have a bunch of sports, right? So for your sports, you could say you want to create a dictionary that holds various sports. So we'll name it sports is equal to, and that would be a empty dictionary. Nothing's in it, but the curly braces is what tells you that it is a dictionary. So for your list, you would have brackets, the square brackets, and then your dictionaries have braces. So in this case, we're going to put in different key value pairs about sports. Now, your key or your value can just be information about either the value or the key. So the key and the value should be connected in some way, shape, or form. And in this case, I'm just going to basically connect a number to a sport, and that way you can utilize that number instead of using the sport name. So you can have one, and then we'll give it a sport. 2, we'll say this is baseball. And 3, we'll say this is golf. So we have 3 sports here. And this is going to be a dictionary that's holding various sports and associating them with a number. So in this case, all of our keys are going to be the number. So what number sport is it? And we'll say that our values here are the actual sports themselves. So if you want to print, then you would simply do print sports and click run, and then you should be able to see the contents of your dictionary just like that. So that's how you would create a simple dictionary and print it out to the user. So your dictionary is just going to store information and have multiple values and keys within inside of it. So now that you know how to print, another way that you can create your dictionary, and I'll create one called colors, and we'll do the same thing. You can also create your dictionary like this. So you could do colors is equal to, and then you can click enter. So this is if you have a dictionary that has a lot of values and it would be insane to put them all in one line, then you can do it separated by line. So in this case, that's what I'm going to do. So we can say 1 is red. Oops, forgot my quotes. 1 is red, 2 is blue, 3 is green, 4 is white, and we'll say 5 is purple. So now we have a dictionary that has multiple values, and this is just another way to create it. So if we were to print this out, then you would see there's no difference in how you create or write them. So click run, and there you have it. It still prints out the exact same way, and it still works regardless of how you do it. So now let's get into another section. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is determine how you can add or change values into your dictionary. So there are different ways you can do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So dictionaries you can change. So once you create them, you can change the values, etc. So first I'll do adding items to the dictionary. So let's start a new block of code, and I'm going to create an empty dictionary. So in this we can say students equals, all right, so that is an empty dictionary. Right now we have nothing in our dictionary, so we can pretty much add anything we want. So to do that, you would have to first state the name. So you would say students, and we're going to say the name of the dictionary. So it'll be students, and then you would use brackets, and then you would give it basically the value over here. So let me comment this out, make it syntax. We'll say here is going to be dictionary name, the key goes here, and then the value. So that's how you would add to the dictionary. So if we were to do that, it would be students, and then our key here would be an ID number. So we can say number 1, and I'm just going to put some random numbers for a student ID number equals, and then we can say John. Then we can say students, and then I'll put another random ID number equals Ashley. Let's do another one. Number, and then equals TJ. All right, so now we have 3 different items or 3 different key value pairs that we're going to add to our dictionary. So then when you want to print, let's see what we have. And click run. All right, there you have it. So now we have 3 items inside of our dictionary, and now you are able to pretty much use the syntax for any dictionary to add various items. So first you would say the dictionary name that you're adding to, followed by the key in brackets, and then it's going to equal the value that you want to put in that dictionary. So if that was easy enough for you, another way you could also do it is to pretty much add another value using the update. So we'll do that here, adding item using update method. So the syntax for that would be, you would say your dictionary name dot update parentheses, you would put your key and your value. So let's see if we can do it this way. So students dot update, then we'll put in number, then we'll say Mary. All right. And then let me see. Oh, I forgot. Let me do this. All right. So for the update method, you have to place curly braces around the key value pair so that it knows that it is a key value pair within the dictionary. And basically all it's going to do is update the students dictionary with whatever you added in the update method. So students, we'll click run. And now you see it adds Mary. So you can use either way to add to the item. You can use the update method or you can use the add to dictionary by using this method. So this is option 1 and this is option 2. Either way, you can use both of these to update your dictionary. So that is updating. So let's say we want to change our values. All right. So now if we want to change our dictionary item, you would have to specify the actual item that you want to change prior to you changing it. So your syntax for that would be you have to specify the dictionary name. Then you give it the name of the key you want to change. And then you give it the new value. So you would say what the dictionary name is, then you would choose the existing key within the dictionary that you want to change and then assign the new value to it. So in this, let's say we want to change one of the students' names. So let's go ahead and choose. We would say students, and for this example, I'm going to choose the first ID. So students, I'm going to say that one. It's going to equal, and let's say Matthew. All right. Then let's say print students. All right. So basically here, I said I want to access the students dictionary and I want to change the value of this key that's already existing. If you see it highlighted at the top, it's already existing and I want to change that from John to Matthew. So if we click run, then you see John is then changed to Matthew, and that is how you could change a value of a certain key in dictionaries. So now that we have shown that, there are other things you can do with dictionaries as well. Various different methods or functions that you can use to work with them. So that's what we'll do, and I'll continue to use this example, or actually I'll start a new example so we don't have so much crowded area. So here I'll start a new dictionary. So in this new dictionary, I'm just going to call it ball players. So ball players, and ball players is going to hold basically different current NBA basketball players. So I'm just going to use a bunch of different basketball players that I can think of off of my head, and then I'm going to associate basically their team and their name together. So in here, my first example would be, we'll go ahead and put the LA, or actually just put Lakers. We'll say Anthony Davis. Here, I'll put the Suns, and we can put Kevin Durant. We can do, let's see, the Suns, the Lakers. We can do the Clippers. We'll say James Harden. We'll do the Knicks, and we'll say here Jalen Brunson. And let's do one more team. Let's do the Hawks, or let's do the Pelicans, and we'll do Zion Williamson. All right, so now I have a dictionary full of basketball players. And so with this, let's say you want to see the number of players that you have. So in this case, we could say print len of b ball players. All right, so that would simply return the count of the ball players. So getting dictionary length, you use the len function. And here in this case, I'm just printing it out. But if you wanted to store it, you would simply take this, and then you could say num of players is going to equal the length of ball players. And now that would store your number of ball players. So then you could say print, we'll use the F string, the dictionary ball players contains num of players. All right, and then let's click run now, and then there you have it. It says the dictionary ball players contains 5 players. So this is how you would get the length of the dictionary. So in case you need to use it in the future, that's how you would find it. Okay, so getting on to something else. So let's say we have this, and let's say one of the NBA players is leaving the NBA. So we can say removing a player. So if you want to remove an item, so let me say removing an item, your syntax would be, you would say del, which is short for delete, say your dictionary name, then you would say the key that you're deleting. So in this case, we would do del, we would say ball players, and then we're going to use the key we want to get rid of. So let's say we want to get rid of the Clippers. And then after that, let's print it out just to see. And click run. And there you go. So now we no longer see Clippers in the count. So Clippers and James Harden is not in our dictionary anymore. So that's how you would remove a specific item from the dictionary. So this may come in handy if for whatever reason, if you have a function that's adding and deleting items, this is what you would have to do that. So that would be the best example. You could also use the pop function or the pop method as well, which is a dictionary method. If you don't know what those are, I would highly suggest that you look up the different dictionary methods that you can use to help you manipulate dictionaries, but I'm just kind of covering a few of them. And there are various different things you can do. And let's say, for example, you want to return all of the keys in that dictionary. So you can do that. So let's say accessing all dictionary keys. So the syntax for that would be you would have to basically use what you call the dictionary name and the key method. Dictionary name dot key. Using key. So that would be the syntax. So let's say you want to print out all of the keys, or let's say we want to store it. So or player keys. Let's do that. Player keys is going to equal, we have BAL. There it is. We have ball players, and we'll say dot key. And here you forgot the S. So we'll say we want the keys, and this is going to store our keys on this line, line 19. The ball player dot keys is going to be stored in player keys. And then if you print that out, you would basically just say player keys. And click run. And here it returns a list of the keys that you have in your dictionary. So it basically just extracts the teams which are associated with the key, and you can do the same with your values. So similar to keys, you would do dot values, and we'll do that. So accessing values. Our syntax would be exactly like our keys. So dictionary name is going to be dot values, like that. So in our case, we could say player values, or just say players actually, because that's what our values are. So we could say players is going to equal ball players dot values. And then we could say print. And this one I'll do an F string, so F, the ball players dictionary has the following players. And in this, we will just say players. So now the string is going to print out the list of players, the F string, and if you look here, the ball players dictionary has the following players. It has Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Jalen Brunson, and Zion Williamson. So that is how you can access the keys and the values of your dictionary. So, as I've stated before, that there's a lot of possibilities you can do in or with your dictionaries. You can also, of course, use for loops to basically print each key one by one if that's what you would like to do. So I'll just show an example of that. So we could say first, so if you want to here, try to find the end, there it is. So we can use a for loop to basically print each key of the dictionary. And as you know, we could say for, and our key is going to be our teams. So we could say for team in ball players. So it's going to basically access that key. We could say print team. And when we click run on this, run button, there it is. And then it prints out our teams. So that for loop will simply just kind of print each value, or not the value, it would print each key of the actual dictionary. And let's say we want to print out the actual values. We can do another for loop. So for loop. Then we could say for player, or we'll do player in ball players. Then we can say here, I'll say P is going to equal to, I'll put my dictionary. And then what I'm going to do here, player is going to access the key. So in this case, we pretty much are going to use this to say I want to access the item at that key. So P is going to hold whatever value is at that current key at player. So player is the key. So P is going to hold whatever value is at that current player or that current team. And then let's say we want to print P. And here I will just print a print statement to just break our output so you can tell the difference. And there you have it. So here we have just our keys, and here we just have our values. So here this line is basically saying that P is going to hold whatever the value is at this current key when it loops through. So if you start, the first key would be Lakers, and then it would print out Anthony Davis, and so on and so forth. So if you ever need to just print them out separately one at a time, this is how you could easily do that. This is kind of something a little bit harder to remember, but it definitely can be helpful if you know what you're doing in that regards. And you can also test to see if something is in a list. So you could say, check if a item is in a dictionary, so we have b-ball players, and let's say we want to print something out. So in this case, you could say print, let's say if Lakers in ball players. So let's do that. We'll run that. And then it says true. So if we wanted to check if something else was in there, we could say print is what's another team? We'll say the Hawks in ball players. Click run on that, and then you see we get false because we do not have the Hawks in our list here, or in our dictionary. We do not have Hawks, so that's why it is saying false. And you can also use it in if statements. So if Lakers in ball players, you say print, the Lakers have LeBron James. All right, and then this will be another example of how you can use it. And there you have it. So overall, I know this covered a lot of topics within dictionaries. There's a lot of possibilities you can use. There's also different dictionary methods you can use. This is one of those concepts that typically could take a little bit more time to understand, but it is very useful when it comes to storing data. So if you are having a hard time, I would just say practice with various examples, and then if you have any further issues, of course, use Google, use other resources that will allow you to um, pretty much figure out what your hiccup is. This is kind of a process of trial and error, so I wouldn't expect you to fully understand it the first time, but the more you practice, the more you understand. So, until next time, continue to practice coding, continue to invest time in it each day, and I promise you'll get better and better. But until next time, do your best, and I'll see you in the next video.